Hi, and welcome to God in 10 Minutes. God in 10 minutes. Who can prove God's reality? Not one in 1,000. See, because no personal experience can be used. That's just a home movie. My personal experience, I had a vision from God, can't prove God to you. Fulfilled prophecy can prove God to you. Okay? See, what we need here is court admissible evidence. You can present it in a court and they'll accept it as evidence. They won't accept hearsay, right? And what are the implications of that truth? Well, this series, God in 10 Minutes, is meant to be a quick introduction to many different subjects that some take months and years to actually study. But give you an idea of what's going on. You can follow up with your own research and prove God for yourself, which is the main way to do that anyway. Okay? And the result is a basis of faith. We're saved by faith, right? But not English faith. English faith is a noun. Greek and Hebrew faith is a verb. A verb. So we got to have some action going on here, see? Well, you can't act against negative circumstances without a good, strong belief that God's really there and He's going to help you. First segment's going to be the solar zodiac. The solar zodiac, okay? It's not astrology now. The solar zodiac. The solar zodiac was made up, not made up, put together with God's influence and direction by Seth and probably Enoch. You got to remember that Adam had over 300 years with Enoch. Well, not with Enoch, but Enoch was 300 years old when Adam died. Okay, they had 300 years to talk back and forth and whatever. And Enoch was God's scribe. He took down all this stuff about the celestial mechanics and so forth, put it in books and everything. What happened to those books? Noah brought them through the flood. Noah. They weren't going to be left. Okay? He even brought the skins that God made for Adam and Eve from the garden. Okay? Abraham, it was 300 years before Abraham was even born. Okay? So there are 48, not 12, 48 constellations in the Zodiac, and they all tell a continuous story. A linear, contiguous story. All of these constellations. Okay? But if you start anywhere but Virgo, it won't make any sense. Astrology starts with Aries. The Zodiac doesn't start with Aries. Okay? In the temple of Dendura, there's a Zodiac on the ceiling, and it has a Sphinx in with the constellations. It's not a constellation. It's just another picture that happens to be there. It's between Virgo and Leo. It tells you where to start. You start at Virgo. And the names of the constellations and what we see them doing tell the story. What is the story? Well, why did Seth and Enoch want to preserve this story? It's the story of the Messiah, the coming Redeemer. It's the story of the very first prophecy of the whole Bible that all the other prophecies derive out of. Okay? Remember in Adam and Eve, God said that out of Eve eventually would come a seed who would be the Redeemer and the Messiah, and he would be bruised in the heel by Satan, but he would bruise Satan's head. He'd triumph over him. Simple little story. And it's told every place you go. All kinds of places. The pyramids got the same story. Okay? They're preserving that story for following generations. Okay? And the zodiac starts with what? A virgin with a seed in her hand, laying down with a seed in her hand. But just like any good chapter of any book, the first chapter tells the story of the whole book. And then the details get filled in, and then at the end it kind of recaps, right? Okay. Virgo is a virgin that bears a seed. The three little constellations that go with each major sign are called side decans, okay? The side decans for Virgo fill out that story a little bit more. And even the star names, what we won't get into here. There's Coma, Centaurus, and Boötes. Those three go with Virgo. Well, Coma, it isn't Berenice's hair. The Greeks made that up. The original zodiac of Coma is a woman sitting in a chair with a child on her lap. Okay, the Virgin bring forth the child. There it is, right there. What kind of a person is it? What kind of a person is a centaur? It's a two-natured being, right? Well, the seed of the Virgin was a two-natured being, God and... But also Centaurus points his spear at the victim. Okay, Lupus. Well, now we've got a two-natured being, and we also have the idea of a victim in there. Okay? So this two-natured being, Son of God, the desired of all nations, is going to be what? The third decan is, what is it? Boötes, I said, Boötes. I want to take a look at Boötes. Boötes, look at him. What's he doing? He's on his way forward. He's not sitting around. Okay? He's got a sickle in his hand, and it's raised up, ready to be used. Well, that's exactly what Revelation says, doesn't it? Thrust in the sickle, the harvest of blood, and all that. Okay? That's what Jesus does when he comes back. See, that's the whole story in the first chapter. But the zodiac is divided up into three groups. Okay? Books, they call them. The first book is all about the Redeemer. Lots and lots of detail about him, like Virgo has. The second book is about the Redeemer's people, and that'd be the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? Not that that excludes everybody but Israelites. That isn't what happens here, but it's about them. Jesus said, I am not sent but for the house of Israel. Okay? The second four books are about the house of Israel and the interaction and what happens to them with Jesus and all that. And the third book is about the second coming and him beating up on Satan, and then after that we go into the millennium, into the kingdom of God. Okay? Virgo, each sign, the Redeemer, and the timing down. We did Virgo. Let me just run quick through Leo. Okay, Leo has three side decans. That's the lion, right? The lion of the tribe of Judah. The lion, Hydra, Crater, and Corvus. And that's the story of his triumph over Satan, right? Hydra is the serpent. Okay, Crater is a cup or a bowl upside down with the wrath of God, fire coming out of it. Okay, and then Corvus is a raven or a crow, and he's pecking at the serpent. Okay, when you see it on the, let's see if the raven getting after the serpent. I'm sure you can see that. I was wrong about that. It's not the funeral pyre. It's just the cup of wrath. The cup of wrath is talked about in Revelation also. Okay, the upside down altar with the fire is a different constellation. There it is, solar zodiac. It tells the whole story in much detail. Again, even the star names fill out the details even more. It's all about Jesus and the Redeemer. segment number 1. God, in 10 minutes. I hope I made it that way, that in that much time. We're going to go on to the lunar zodiac, and then even take in the Milky Way, and see how it tells the same story over and over and over and over. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless.